Simplified Chaos, episode 117.
Life is beautiful and full of chaos.
And it can get slightly out of hand if that shit's not tamed.
We're here to share how to simplify the little things to help you lead a more intentional life.
This is Simplified Chaos.
Hey everybody. Welcome to Simplified Chaos. This is Jillian, one of your hosts, and I'm with my ruggedly bearded husband, Nicholas, and co-host.
What's going on, folks? Am I extra beardy today?
A little bit.
Sounds a little echoey in here. We're in the place where it all started. We first recorded our podcast before your sister and our brother-in-law moved into this room, and they're now out, and we've made it our podcast room again.
It's come full circle. We started in this room, and we are gracefully ending this
Something
room.
like that. But we've got another great episode here for you this week. Jilly, what are we talking about?
I think we've decided that it's going to be an Everything Bagel episode.
Anything goes.
Anything goes.
Yeah, I won't say potpourri.
A little bit of this.
A little bit of that. That's right.
We'll see if there's some common theme at the end, and we'll wrap it all together in a nice cream cheese bow.
Yeah. We tried to do this episode last week. However, it just wasn't in the cards. A lot was happening, and we apologize for missing a week. But we started recording the episode, and we were interrupted by our soon-to-be 3-year-old daughter, and it just wasn't in the cards. So we apologize, but we'll make sure this is a good one. But before we dive into that, as always, we love to show a little gratitude. So, Jilly, what are you grateful for this week?
Well, this is what I said on the last time we attempted to start it. I am uber grateful for my wonderful body. I got my period, which was magnificent. So, little backstory, I hadn't gotten my period in years and years and years. And then I got it on January, which was awesome. And then like the past 3 months, it was just like non-existent. I'm like, all right. So I got it back after all these years, and then it just kind of like vanished.
Jilly got her groove back.
And then magically, after we sold our house, we signed the paperwork and knew for sure like our house is done. Like it's no longer ours. It's kind of crazy. We're typically like right now we're renting our house for a month, which is, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, it magically came back. Like after all of the wonderful, beautiful chaos and stress of trying to sell our house, it was really crazy because not only did I not get my period for those 3 months, but I also had like these weird digestive issues where like I couldn't poop. I don't think there's anything TMI, but yeah, I was like, what the hell's going on? Like I haven't changed my diet, and then I would tweak it. And so short story, this is long story short, however that goes, I am back, baby, and my body is a wonderful thing. And just it makes me remember to listen to my body, that it's communicating with me when shit's going on. And I'm just really grateful that it's back, and I'm feeling a lot lighter.
Yeah,
and a little bit back to normal, which is great. Yeah.
It also reminds me to pull out.
Oh, for cheesy.
There's no such thing as TMI on this podcast.
No. Well, I didn't think you were going to take it there, but okay.
Yeah, well, I was also reminded of you too. Sunday, Bloody Sunday.
Oh gosh, You have to sing it, babe.
Nah, I'm not a big U2 fan.
Is that the right one?
No.
Which one am I thinking of?
It sounds like you're singing Vertigo.
No. Monday.
Oh, come on.
What is it? It's something. Is it about Sunday?
No.
No. I'm way off.
It's Friday. I'm in love.
Friday. It was a day of the week song.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Anyway.
What do you?
I am grateful for our amazing, talented real estate agent who saw this whole thing all the way through, was very light with us the entire time. He was a perfect match for us and just kind of kept things very light, kept us informed, but did an amazing job with selling this house, getting us prepared to sell this house, and then getting us the offer that we ultimately accepted. So, just very grateful for everything that he's done. He's still staying in contact with us and, just making sure everything was good. dropped off a very nice bottle of tequila the day that we signed our closing documents, because it was Cinco de Mayo Eve. And it makes really great margaritas.
What was the name brand of that?
I don't know. I probably should have remembered that, but it is fantastic. I posted about it on Instagram, so check me out.
Wait, was it a story?
Nick and Mville. It was a story.
So it's not there anymore.
You guys aren't going to be able to see this, so don't check me out.
We can actually put it as a resource,
We can.
the name of the tequila in the show notes if we wanted to.
I'm sure there's some people out there who are tequila fans and would love to know. That's right. All right, so...
shout out Blair. Thanks for helping us.
Thanks for everything, buddy.
Sell our house and simplifying this whole process.
Yeah. All right, Jilly. Everything Bagels. They're delicious, and I really like them.
Yeah, they got a little bit of sesame seeds.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
They got some salt, some pepper, some garlic powder. They got a little bit of everything, and they put it all on a nice bagel. And
that's exactly what we're going to do in this episode, is we're going to talk a little bit of everything and package it up really nicely so that you can digest it.
Yeah, it may be all over the place, but I feel like most of our episodes sometimes may
There's
be
going to be some value in here somewhere. We know that. So where'd you want to start off here? I'm kind of curious.
Well, I guess first I just wanted to start off just saying like what's been happening so far.
What's happening?
As far as the moving process, because so we officially signed our closing documents, and I was really kind of bummed out because I really wanted to meet the people that were buying our home. I was kind of excited to meet them and just see the family that's going to be, taking up the space and making it their home. But unfortunately, COVID has restricted us to not meet. Maybe one day we can meet the family coming in.
Yeah, I mean,
but
there's some time, so I'm sure they're going to need some things explained, especially about how the whole Nest system works in this house.
Your Google.
Yeah.
You're such a nerd. I love you.
I am
so
a nerd.
much. But yeah, so we are officially renting our home for free, which is amazing. Like, this market is crazy. I can't say it enough. This market is crazy.
It's hot.
So we are fortunate enough to rent this for a month. And it's just crazy thinking about like when Lucille is like hanging on a cabinet or like doing anything. We're like, that's not ours, Lucille. Like, it's like officially we don't own it.
Put your hands in your pocket and don't touch anything.
Don't even look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's we had a little celebration. So we signed our closing documents, and it was just Nick and I. And Lucille, my mom was gracious enough to watch Lucille.
Yeah, because they weren't allowing her at the closing place either.
No. But it was short and sweet. We signed all the papers, and then we found a new restaurant that was near where we signed.
Yeah.
Called Cured, 18th and 21st, I believe.
Yeah.
It was in Columbia, if anyone's from Maryland. Really good cocktails.
Food was great too.
Yes, the food. We had burgers,
We had
Brussels sprouts,
which were on point. Yeah, like a little bit of a sweet chili sauce on them. Yeah, it was really good.
Wrong with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice just to kind of have that moment with just us two, like just kind of celebrating that we're renters.
They were renters
of this home.
Yeah, because it's really hard to say that we've closed a chapter because we're still here.
Yeah.
But it kind of like is the beginning of the last chapter.
Yes.
So to say.
And today we had your family over to we've kind of had our last hurrahs with our friends. So our friends had come over last weekend to kind of celebrate the last time in this home. People that I grew up coming here when we were kids, because I've been in this house since I was 7. So it's been really kind of coming full circle of having like the friends that were here a long time ago, having high school parties and birthday parties and all kinds of shenanigans that we did in this home. Man, it brings me back like my first, I think it was my 13th birthday. I had a makeup party here in our living room, and I remember that's when I got my first CD in this house. It was Ace of Base.
Oh,
it was a good one. Yeah, but it's crazy thinking of just the evolution of this house and what it looked like and the memories. And yeah, like I said, this is going to be an Everything Bagel episode, so it's going to be like ping-ponging everywhere. But so the reason why I brought up that we were kind of having our shindig of family and friends kind of coming here for the last time, it's because your mom and dad were here, and your brother and my sister-in-law was here, and they kept asking me like, are you excited? Are you excited? And it's so strange because it's like I am, but I was like, I'm just trying to like enjoy this moment.
Yeah.
I feel like now more than ever, I'm cultivating being more present because I know this is such a crazy time. And like I said, I am excited, but it's just like, I'm just trying to enjoy being in this home for the
Oh
last
yeah.
moments that we have
In
it.
this
So
home, in this area.
yeah.
I mean, it's definitely. I'm doing the same thing. It's just like the time that we've been spending with friends. It's just like, just being there and being present and, just soaking it in. And we had last weekend was a great weekend. We had, like you said, your friends who have been coming to this house for years over. And then we had a birthday party the next day at one of the local beaches. And, it was just good hanging out with folks that, have been part of our lives for such a long time. Again, my parents came over today. We have friends coming over on Tuesday for a little cocktail night. And then, like, we really kind of have to get down to business sooner or later and start packing this place up and
We do.
getting it ready for us to move out on June 5th. But, I mean, if anybody wants to hang out, it's like, yeah, we're going to make time on our calendar to do that. So, yeah, and just, like you said, being in that moment and savoring every moment of it.
Yes. So that's kind of where we are right now. And it's still weird, like being in our home and hearing like the echo of just like someone can be downstairs and it's so loud upstairs because sound is just traveling super fast in this home. It's like,
goodness, yeah.
It's almost like a shell. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, this room's completely empty besides us being in it.
Yeah.
The Reese's bedroom is basically just got a bed and a dresser in it. Our bedroom has always been pretty minimalist. It'll be really easy to pack that. Like, really the biggest thing that we have to pack up is the stuff that's in the garage. Like, we don't have a terrible amount of stuff to really pack up when we really think about it. It's probably something that can be done in a weekend. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy just how, like you said, this house echoes and sound does travel. Like, I have to turn the TV down super soft not to wake up Lucille, or if we drop something downstairs, it sounds like we dropped something large, but it was just the remote.
And something else that's been kind of like bringing us joy lately that we normally don't do is that Nick and I have been having like a movie night once a week, which normally doesn't happen, and it's kind of been fun. We watched Eurotrip one night.
Yep.
God, it's such a classic movie.
Classic.
And then we watched Basic.
Yeah, Basic with John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson, a couple other recognizable people in there, but it's a good action drama movie. Yeah, check it out. It's a blockbuster. Is what it was listed under on Amazon. Was it blockbuster movies?
Which I still don't understand what that means.
That means it was a huge movie when it came out.
Huge movie.
Huge.
But it's, I don't know, something about, I don't know, for anybody else that's moved or, is looking to move, there is something about, I feel like now more than ever, I'm cultivating so much gratitude and presence during this time of just waiting, because I know that the moments are not going to be long here. And it's like any neighborhood walk, any just sitting out in my backyard, sitting on the patio, just looking at things in my home in a whole new light, just that I've just been so grateful for this place and that I know that it's coming to an end. So I don't know. I hope that this sense of gratitude and just presence that has been happening during this time just kind of carries through in Charlottesville. And I just embody this every day because it's a good feeling to have. Like I know this is right. And it's just like I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like we've gotten past all the stressful stuff. And, now it's like I feel like I can just finally be me. And like you said, we've been seeing neighbors out all the time and, hanging out with them a lot. And, Lucille, luckily they have kids Lucille's age. So, like, she's been out having a good time and, making friends and stuff like that. And just, I think she's kind of soaking in too. She doesn't know what's really happening, but like, you can see her every day just kind of like cherishing everything that she has and being in that moment and just having fun. So it's just kind of really cool that we've been able to have this moment here before we move down.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of had some notes, and I don't even know if this is like on par, but
it's an Everything Bagel.
it is.
It's on par.
This was more of like a reflection, I think. And I posted something on Instagram that I was just like, fuck the noise and just be your own siren. I think that now in this stage more than ever, I think have just cultivated such good boundaries and blinders for shit that just hasn't filled us up. And I just feel like so empowered in this moment, knowing that we're going to be shifting to a different lifestyle and still have the same values, and we still have the same relationships, but it's just, there's something so beautiful about just this step that I know is coming, just that I feel like we've grown as a couple so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like where we started with this podcast in this room, like we had no idea what we were doing. We both knew.
Do we still know what we're doing?
No. And that's the funny thing. It's just like, I don't know, for anyone out there, and I'm sure there are people out there, because I mean, we all are going through this struggle of just like finding our own way and, trying to find what's best for us and making our life a good life, whatever that means to you. And I don't know, like, I can feel such a difference from when we first started until now. I mean, I still feel that, we're always going to be beginners and like never have it fully figured out. But I feel in my body, in my bones, that like we finally have this confidence in what we value, and we're not afraid to like take risks to make that happen. Yeah. And well, I'm just,
I think that what makes the podcast fun is like, we talk about what is interesting to us. We're not trying to fake it and try to be what we think is interesting to other people, but people are drawn to the fact that we're passionate about what it is that we talk about. I think that we live our truth, or we if that's what the saying is, but like we're not gonna try to front on anything and pretend like we're doing something that we're not. Like we live this stuff every day, and we hope that it attracts people that are very like-minded to us. And I think that's what the biggest lesson that we can learn out of this is, just be ourselves. And I think that's I think we've done a good job over 117 episodes of doing this.
Be yourself, be yourself.
I don't know the reference.
Damn it. Ryan Reynolds. Oh, he goes back home, Christmas break. Fuck, what's the name of that movie?
Just Friends.
Yes. When I think is it his mom that's like, be yourself?
Probably.
Sorry, it just made me think of it. That was another one. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's something so small that I'm so grateful for this podcast. I think I was talking to a coworker yesterday just about the podcast, and I was like, man, I don't know where we would be right now if it wasn't for us just deciding to fucking do this, because it has kept us so accountable for taking these small action steps every day. And I know that's kind of where we started. Like when we first made our intro for the podcast, it was, I'm trying to think of what I said now in the funny, it's simplifying the simple things, like the small things in life. And fuck, it's just funny, like seeing a more bigger action step coming from all of these tiny steps.
Yeah.
Just seeing them line up, like how many years later?
Well, I think if you really dive into it, like we wouldn't be moving to Charlottesville if it wasn't for this podcast. It's, we had a trip planned, and for those of you that don't know, it's like we had a trip planned July of last year to go out to interview Liv, who you ended up interviewing later. We wanted to do it in person, but unfortunately, with COVID, we decided it wasn't the right time for us to fly, and we decided to take a trip to Charlottesville instead. Something that was manageable. We could just drive and just kind of find out what's what, and it ended up being a life changer. I mean, literally. The whole rest of the story kind of played out the way that it did, but like this podcast is really part of the reason why we're moving there. But you're right. I mean, to your deeper point, it's allowed us to really like examine our life and be more thoughtful and intentional about the things that we're doing, the people that we bring into our lives, and is why we're at where we're at today.
And if you think about it, that kind of just describes life as a whole.
Yeah.
Like life's all about being open to the small pivots and then just finding the joy in it, finding the fun in it, because life is never going to turn out the way you envisioned.
Right.
You know, so it's just keeping an open mind of like one small act a day, like where is that going to lead me? And it may be different than what I ever imagined and pictured, but man, all of the pivots that we've made and transitions, I've just been grateful to have you by my side to be able to talk about this through weekly, of just how to keep doing how to have fun in this adventure. Like, how can we go through life having fun and surround ourselves with good people, good energy? Like, it's funny. It's just so simple. It's like, how can we insert fun into our life and surround ourselves with a good energy? And that's all it is, but it takes a lot of blinders, boundaries, hell yeses, maybe no thank yous. Like, there's just a lot of confidence in your ability to know what you want and being okay with that's not for me, but
yeah. Well, and the pivots and transitions that you're talking about, I think were easy, not only because we were there to support each other and we have supportive people in our lives, but I think it's like we've listened to all the signs that are pointing to us making this change, like changing an area, buying and selling a house in itself is a big decision, but deciding to move out of an area, just because we want that change. Like, a job didn't take us to Charlottesville, or we weren't forced to move there. This is a choice that we're making, and there was just so many signs that the universe was kind of putting out there to us to say that, hey, this is the right thing. Like, and it really seems like it is, just because of how easy everything's been. And again, I think a lot of it's the support that you and I give each other, and the support that we have, with our families. But like, it's really just kind of tough to put into words, just like how easy this whole thing's been. And it almost feels like it's been, calling us to do this. And who knows what our calling is when we get there. I mean, we'll go there and we'll figure that out, as long as we keep listening. And so, yeah, I mean, is it a little bit scary? Sure. I mean, a big life change can be scary, but at the same time, I find comfort in feeling that, and just kind of having that gut feeling that this is the right thing to do.
Yeah, and I was just telling Nick about just the way I look at life is so different. Like, I think before, I always just thought about what life looked like aesthetically. What does our life look like? Like, is this what people expect us to do? Like, even like me, it's like I was going for a look, like, how am I supposed to look? How, and with social media and your environment, like, it all affects it. But now I'm just like, fuck the look of life. Like, it's all about the feeling.
Exactly.
And, follow the feeling, follow the feeling, follow the feeling. Man, I should get that tattooed on me. It
sounds like you're going to. You're talking to me a little bit earlier today about how you have the itch again.
I do. It wasn't going to be that, but just, it is so true. Like, seriously hone in to what you want, and just don't doubt that feeling of what you think is best for you. And I mean, it's turning out pretty grand for us. So
yeah,
I don't think your intuition or gut steers you wrong. And if you do fail, that it's meant to be there. Like, life happens. What did they say? Life happens for you, not to you. So like, every challenge is just be like, hey, here's a hurdle for you. Let's see what you really want to do, or what you want to learn from this, or how you're going to grow. So it is so true. This whole feeling has been so good. So good. Yeah. And for anyone who's like thinking about life transitions, I know our sister-in-law was talking about moving, and she was like, the market's so great, but I don't know if this is the right time. And being able to go through this process now is like, you will feel it when it's the right time. Like, for anybody that's in that weird transition, that phase, or feels stuck and they're like, I don't know what to do. Like, you just know. Like, you just have to quiet yourself down.
Like, this is happening like when the market is, where it is right now, and it's great as in a seller's market. But like, even before, like, we even looked into that, like, it was just more of a feeling, and for us, it was saying that now's the right time. But yeah, I mean, just because the market's great right now, don't try to force anything. And because the market's great,
yes,
it has to be the right time, the right situation for you. So like, just remember that, like, it's got to be something that you feel is the right thing to do. So that's kind of my biggest piece of advice is don't do something just because you want to do something. Make sure it's the right thing, the right place, the right time.
Yeah, feel, don't force. I think we talked about that before.
Yeah.
Is there something out of the window? It's driving me nuts. You keep looking.
It's just a nice night.
Oh, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm talking. You're like, keep looking. I'm like, oh, I must be
I'm
really.
listening.
I was like, something's happening. Neighbors are
There's
outside.
something on the wing.
Something. But
Is it the old colonial lady that's on the wing of the plane?
yeah, and
Yeah.
as Gary Potter, I didn't really realize that was his name. Gary Potter from Happy Gilmore would say, "You got to rise above it. You got to harvest the good energy,
Kevin
block out
Nealon.
the bad. Harvest energy, block bad. Feel the flow, feel it. It's circular. It's like a carousel. You pay the quarter, you get on the horse, you go up and down and around in a circular circle with music, the flow, all good things." And then Happy's like, yeah, well, nice to meet you, but I gotta go golf, psycho.
Psycho.
Hey, it's like all people that are psycho weird, they're feeling the flow.
Working it.
Oy.
Yeah, no, that's a great scene in Happy Gilmore, and Kevin Nealon is a genius. Yes.
So good.
Was that your quote of the day?
No, but I wanted to put that in here because it just spoke to me so much. Like when you do hear him say that in the movie, you're like, yeah, this guy seems like a cuckoo. But then I'm like, now I'm the cuckoo that, because it's totally like all that spiritual stuff that I heard. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, no, that's so true. It's so true. Once you quiet yourself down and stop being so busy and you actually listen to your body, it's like, fuck, why don't they teach this in school?
Yeah.
Why?
Well,
So many things.
that's another topic. But yeah, I had, so remember our planners have like yearly themes or whatever?
Yeah.
My theme last year was harness energy, block bad.
Do you think you stuck to it?
Yeah, sure.
What's your theme this year?
Well, wasn't the book a little bit different this year? I don't think there was a theme that you could write
There's
for
themes
this
for
year.
months. Have you been
Yeah.
using your planner or no?
Not this past month and a half.
Oh, Nick.
Yeah,
we're going to have to do a little revisit because we're getting to
yeah.
6 months.
I know we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, June's coming up.
Yeah, 6
It's the
months.
6th month of the year. Yeah, I gotta get back on board. I just I've had a focus sense on this whole house and getting it ready, and now I'm like ready to get back into it. Like
Yeah.
I was just really focused on that.
I get it, babe.
Yeah,
I'm not judging. I was just saying, like,
it's a judge-free
shit.
zone here.
It's and drug-free. Drug-free, judge-free.
Define drug-free.
We don't smoke. We don't smoke
Yeah,
cigarettes. We'll just stop it there.
fair enough. Is there any other what is that?
Any other
Things you want to
seasonings?
sprinkle on? Yeah, seasonings. I was looking at any other seasonings for this bagel, Jilly.
No, but I have a really good resource.
That's what I was
That
gonna
can be
ask
the
you.
cream cheese on, or it could be the egg,
The
and
sausage, egg, and
avocado.
cheese.
Yeah, all the good
All
shit
the
in
good
there.
stuff. Yeah, put it together, Jilly.
It was a blog post, and the title of it is "What's the Secret to a Head Full of Happy Thoughts?" And it had some really good ones that I wanted to
All right. Drop a couple nuggets.
Yeah. Okay.
So echoey.
The first, it is really not that bad. You're just super critical and a perfectionist,
Yes.
and you're making me stressed out. Oh,
Oh, am I?
yes, because everything has just got to be perfect, and I'm
Uh-oh.
just like
We're
slap
about
it on the
We're
wall.
about to have a therapy session right here.
Well, this is therapy.
Drop
All
some
right.
knowledge on us.
The secret to a head full of happy thoughts. The first thing is gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. I can't emphasize this one enough. Showing gratitude for the good things you have is the most powerful happiness boosting activity there is. Holy moly. I do this every morning,
Yeah.
and I can't stop because it makes me feel so good. I don't know if anybody else has a ritual, but I would love to hear if you guys have a gratitude ritual, what it is. Second thing, do what you are good at as often as you can.
Hell yeah.
And they say that signature strengths, in quotes, are the things you are uniquely good at, and using them increases happy thoughts. Exercising signature strengths is why starving artists are happier with their jobs. And it just says, think about the best possible version of yourself and move toward that. Signature strengths are the secret to experiencing more flow at work and in life.
That's why I've been really upset about softball being canceled every Sunday because of rain. I'm really good at softball, and I can hit the ball far as fuck. Jill really loves it when I talk about myself playing softball. I'm not conceited at all.
No, he's so damn sexy when he talks about how good he is.
Yeah. So hopefully we won't be rained out tomorrow night.
Okay, third thing. Spend as much time as possible with people you like.
I like you.
The happiest people are social with strong relationships. Not spending more time with people we love is something we regret the most. Mm-hmm. Being able to spend more time with friends provides an increase in happiness worth up to an additional, and it gives you a price, which I thought was interesting. And I have another blog post for values for your friendships, which I thought was interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, just basically saying like, hang with people that fill you up. Like, don't put that aside.
Make you feel rich.
Make you feel rich. Yeah. All right, here's another one. Money is good. Many other things are better. After about $75,000 a year, money has minimal effects on happiness. Read that again. Not that money won't increase happiness, but if you want to be happier, your time and energy are better spent elsewhere. It will not increase your moment-to-moment mood. The Amish are as satisfied as billionaires, and slum dwellers can be surprisingly happy. The happiest of all income groups is people making $50 to $75K a year. Money is good, but wanting money can be bad.
That's some interesting research.
I thought so too. That's why I like this blog
I'd like
post.
to see the source on that.
I will send you the link and put it on the resources like always. The next thing is give. Giving makes us happier than receiving. In fact, it can create a feedback loop of happiness in your life. Helping others reach their goals brings joy. Doing nice things for others today can literally make you happier for the rest of the week.
That's very true.
The next thing on here is savor. Take time to really enjoy the good things. What are the best ways to savor? Happy memories or looking forward to something, being present, not letting your mind wander and being absorbed in the moment. Savoring is one of the secrets of the happiest people. Focusing on the limited time you have in this life is a good way to remind you to savor what is important.
I'm sorry, what did you say? My mind was wandering.
I feel like I'm really in a heavy stage of savoring too. Like I kind of mentioned, like the presence. It's just like, I really want to embody this in Charlottesville. But I think 100%. This process of moving and feeling like in between this limbo stage has just really brought more of that to my attention.
Well, you're practicing it now, and hopefully, like you said, that transition is down there. So, yeah. And if you're always practicing, you're always going to do it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
The next one is strive. You don't usually do what brings you joy. You do what is easy. Set ambitious goals and strive. Thinking about what happens to you in terms of your self-esteem will crush you. Look at life as growing and learning. This was interesting. It says sitting on the couch watching TV does not make you happy. You are happier when you are busy and probably have more fun at work than at home. I'm going to keep reading.
Okay.
Thinking and working can beat sad feelings. A wandering mind is not a happy mind all the time. Mastering skills is stressful in the short term and happiness boosting in the long term. So, and there is some studies this, and I thought that was quite interesting. And thinking about it, like, I'm constantly like trying to find something new that I can learn, and I am extremely joyous when I'm like, I just found this out. So I can understand where, like, you know, just going through the motions and not really
you just found out about chameleons the other day.
Right?
And you were so excited about it.
I was. It was fascinating. But it's so true. Like, you know, just setting, like, even if it's like the tiniest goal of learning one new thing a week, it definitely brings a lot of, I guess, meaning to my life, just to expand my horizons and perspectives on things. Okay. The next one is be optimistic, even to the border of delusion. I'm going to keep reading. Optimism is key. I know, because I can see some of these words. You're like, wait, what? Optimism is key. Yes, pessimism softens the blow of bad news, but it isn't worth it. Does this make you out of touch with reality? Maybe, but being a little deluded is good. People with positive illusions about the relationship are more satisfied, score higher in love and trust, and have fewer problems. Overconfidence increases productivity and improves teamwork. And there's a quote here. Self-deception has been associated with stress reduction, a positive self-bias, and increased pain tolerance, all of which could enhance motivation and performance during competitive tasks.
I like that. I feel like I embody that.
I think you do too. And it says, and this was interesting. It says love means being slightly diluted. Happy people believe their partner is a little more awesome than they really are. Something you think is great who also thinks you're great. It's one of the primary things you look for in a marriage partner. Think happy thoughts, give hugs, smiling may sound like unscientific hippie silliness, but they all work.
You like me. You really like me.
You really like me. Okay, I think I have 3 more. This was just so fascinating to me. This one is fundamentals or fundamental.
Fundamental.
It says cranky, ? Before you blame the world, eat something, take a nap. It can purge negative emotions and increase happy thoughts. Sleep is vital because your mood in the morning affects your mood all day. Get your sleep. You cannot get away from cheating yourself on sleep, and being tired makes it harder to be happy. Just going back to the basics of just like...
Yeah, sleep is so important. Like, I know we don't cheat ourselves on sleep at all.
No.
And I think that's part of what makes us happy as fuck.
And I know talking about sleep isn't really sexy. Like, yeah, I got 8 hours of sleep last night, but I think more of us should do that just to,
hell yeah,
to like promote like how freaking important that is.
I'm very proud of the sleep that I get, and I know that there's a lot of people out there, you know, who either can't sleep or think that sleep is weak because they should always be working or doing something. It's like, you need it. Like, it's necessary. There's a lot of research that shows that it's got so many benefits. It's really hard to even calculate the number of benefits that sleep has. So yeah, get some sleep, folks.
And that's why I'm reading that book about circadian rhythms. It's so fascinating, the science behind it. Okay, I like this one. Frequency beats intensity. Lots of little good things is the path to happiness. You want frequent boosts, not big, rare, not rare, big stuff. And I know we're all about the little things, and we've even talked about even when we take little getaways versus just one giant big getaway, like one giant vacation. It's like, damn, why didn't we do this before?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, the giant big vacations are amazing and
sure.
are also necessary in life, to kind of reset. But yeah, no, the small things, you can sprinkle those in, and you can be having like a long week, a busy week, a bad week, and you just do something to sprinkle in that happiness, and boom, you're back.
Yeah. All right. This is the last one. This is a good place to end because it's avoid life's most common regrets.
Ooh, regrets.
Most common regrets before people die. I think this is done by people who are obviously on their deathbed. And I've heard this before, and I really want to just write this on and just put it somewhere in our house to remind us. Number 1, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me.
That's a tough one.
So tough. Number 2, I wish I didn't work so hard. Number 3, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings.
Yeah, that one's also very, the worry about being judged is overwhelming for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Number 4 is, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And number 5 is, I wish that I had let myself be happier.
Damn. I think we do end on that.
I think it's a great place to end.
Yeah. So yeah, new take action challenge. No quote of the day. We're ending on that. That was great, Jilly.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, that is going to do it for today's episode. If you like this episode, please, please, please do us a favor and help us spread the message. You can do that by writing a review or simply by sharing this episode with a friend. And remember, sharing sparks a conversation. Conversation leads to action, and action is how we're able to live a happy and intentional as hell lifestyle. We want to thank you all for listening today, and we will see you again next week.
See y'all later.